right. Welcome in. What's wrong, James? You don't like the headphones?
Well, not if I'm not hearing anything through them. Is this on?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Hold on. Where are you? Go ahead. Talk into it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Well, your headphones, put on. Turn them on. They were just down.
Okay.
You don't have to like be a bitch about it. Talk.
All right. So, no.
That's not
Okay,
working.
it's on. All right. Can I start with why we're pieces of garbage?
Yes. By the way, welcome in Radio Misfits Dallas, the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios. James Parker and myself, I'm Pugs Moran. Join me every day, Monday through Friday, noonish, for what I like to call talk radio for normal people. It's just, anything that's happening in the world. I don't care how you vote it. It ain't about politics. It's about us hanging out. James, how can people listen to you?
This is for abnormal people, and it's on WBAP weekdays 2 to 5, 8:20 a.m., 93.3 FM in Dallas.
Yeah, mine is right here at radiomisfits.com. Radio Misfits, follow, like, all that good stuff. Pugs Moran, Google me. You'll find all my things. James, please tell me, why are we pieces of garbage?
What's the name of this studio?
Kelly Moore Memorial Studios.
And I remember when she passed away a few months back, we had a special episode here at the E-Gallery on Dragon Street.
Right.
So cool, the design district.
Right.
And we had a bunch of people on from the lifespan of Pugs and Kelly. It was me, you, Sybil. Cody was on. Sybil was in the building. Cody was on Restream with us. We had a whole bunch of other people that were kind of chiming in.
Hey, can we interrupt here for Cody? Mazel tov. Cody's got a baby girl on the way.
Yeah, congrats, Cody. No one called Bobby.
Bobby Garza?
Yeah. We didn't invite him to be on the memorial episode. We didn't send him a text message. None of us sent him a text message when Kelly passed away. We all forgot Bobby.
That's unfortunate. That's terrible. And I'm sorry. And I look forward to having an opportunity to express that to Bobby. That is terrible.
Yeah, because I sent him a text message a while back.
What were you looking to buy? Weed? What game is Bobby in these days?
Well, weed and blackjack, probably.
Something nefarious.
Right. So, yeah. So I have reached out to him. I was like, Sybil is working with me now. We're in the same building. She's down the hall. We're trying to get Pugs in the building. We're trying to get the band back together. You got any interest in, getting the band back together?
What are you doing?
I'm asking him if he
go ahead.
If he has any interest in being a part of these projects.
Any interest in rekindling the once burning bright radio dream?
Well, and I didn't tell him, but I'll tell you that we were looking to hire a board op at the time.
Okay.
And I was just going to gauge his interest before I pitched him.
Sure.
Because it's almost an insult, if he says, well, I'll get into it if I have my own show or whatever, then I don't want to say we have a board op opening, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of you as a board op. Yeah. No, hey, look, board op is I can't believe they still got them. How is that not automated? How is that not a
because thing? Cumulus has its own proprietary audio whatever system.
Vault.
Yeah, and it doesn't automate as readily as next gen.
Oops. Well, maybe
you should build that in.
Yeah, maybe it's time for a new system. I don't know.
Well, it's either that or pay next gen millions of dollars in licensing fees for their 120 stations or whatever.
So that is terrible. Bobby is certainly a foundational member of Pugs and Kelly in Dallas. Bobby's a great man, a wonderful father, someone who I enjoy greatly. It was so nice to reconnect with him when we were doing the interviews for the Live 105.3 thing. So that is an oversight. But I can also tell you that he's not the only one. There was a great number of people who I didn't reach out to. There was a number of people who contacted me in the weeks following Kelly's passing who were like, hey, I just heard. And, I should have reached out to them. They were people who were from our show in the past. But
I know.
It was hard enough telling the people that I told, right? It's not a great thing.
But we worked with him. He was on the show. He was in the family. He was one of us.
Bobby's different. Bobby's important. Yeah, Bobby's important. Bobby was there from the beginning. But, there were also other important people from the history of our show who I didn't reach out to. I didn't reach out to Tommy Bowles, who is the original producer here. I didn't reach out to Reagan, who was another person but Reagan I think Reagan hated Kelly. I think that was a problem. I think that was an issue. I don't know. My details. Thanks for bringing the show down. We do this one day a week.
I know. It's just sometimes
you
we
know
suck.
I suffer from depression. Yeah, we do suck. We suck as people, but not as bad as I want to ask you about something, James.
Oh, this is a good segue. Look
I want to ask you something. Have you seen or are you familiar with the situation that occurred in Philadelphia last Sunday during the Green Bay Packers Philadelphia Eagles playoff game between a Philadelphia Eagle fan and a Green Bay Packer lady?
Yeah, so I haven't seen 1 second of the game highlights, but I have seen this quite a few times.
Well, it happened and it was ugly, and I'll show you the video. But first, you're a Cowboy fan. Born, bred, and buttered, right? That's your team. It's in your bones. So that would mean that you probably feel for the Philadelphia Eagles in a similar way that I feel towards the Green Bay Packers.
I think it has to be worse because the Green Bay Packer fans never threw batteries at Santa or cheered when Michael Irvin got put on a back brace or done of all the thousands of things, because Philadelphia is a specifically crappy group of sports fans.
Yeah.
They're trash.
As a Chicago Bear fan who despises the Green Bay Packers, that's in my blood. They really are wonderful people, James. The people of Wisconsin
humble.
They are as
kind.
good. They are what Americans ought to strive to be on just about every level other than fitness, because they do lead the league in morbid obesity and chronic alcoholism.
Man, have you ever seen not to get on a tangent, have you ever seen the map of the 100 most drinking counties or the top 50 drinking counties?
Their baseball team is called the Brewers.
They're all in Wisconsin except for Las Vegas.
Yeah. No, they take beer very seriously up there. It's very German.
I'm impressed, actually.
Yeah. Dairy cows, cheese, and beer. So the people in Wisconsin, Green Bay fans, I'll give you that, because the Green Bay people are wonderful. For 3 hours, twice a year when we play them, we hate them and we're mean, but then we spend weekends in the summer with them because that's our backyard, Chicagoans anyway. So I'll give you that. Eagle fans are ugly. Let me show you the video.
Show them the video.
That's what I wanted to establish. I wanted to establish that these are two very different kinds of fans as far as perception among other teams' fans. Green Bay Packer fans are just, aren't they lovely? They're just sweet, big, fat people who are cold, cheeseheads. They're
not very threatening.
Not at all. Wonderful people. Just nice people. You'd love to have dinner with them. Eagle fans, they have a jail in their stadium. Okay, they have a holding
it's
cell.
Like them in Cleveland, right?
I know. I think it's just them, although maybe Cleveland as well. No, what you're thinking of is the dog pound. That's in Cleveland. The dog pound. That's just like a bunch of fans who just like dogs.
Holding cell too. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We should look that up.
All right, so this is what went down. Let's see. Is this her? Yeah, this is it. This is what went down in Philadelphia Saturday or Sunday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? I'm not sure which.
I don't even know.
I think it was Sunday.
It's not important.
Here you go. So what you'll see here is a Green Bay Packer fan, this lovely woman right here. She's got her big glasses. She's all bundled up. She knows how to do cold weather football. She's from Green Bay, for crying outside. She is hanging out with her father. These are important details.
Right.
She is with her father and her fiance. Her fiance, as it turns out, James, is a bit of a YouTuber. That's kind of his gig. That's his job. He's, I guess, successful to the point where that's what he does. He's a YouTuber.
Okay.
That's why this thing was filmed. That's probably why it went viral in the way that it did.
Can't really criticize right now, seeing as how we're doing that right now.
I know. Oh, I know. I am programmed to go, really?
Yeah, influencer.
But that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. So, all right. So here we go. Let's watch the video. Green Bay Packer fan. Now, the origin of this dust up is that she is reacting improperly to a call. Apparently, the call did not go Green Bay's way. She had the audacity to cheer incorrectly, and the Eagle fan is now taking it upon himself to let her know that she sucks on every level. All right, that's going to do it. All right, there you go. That's basically what we needed to see. James? No, that's the next video we're going to show. We're going to go into that next. James, your thoughts. Give me your takeaway.
Man, I hope I can be as like grown up and mature as the guy holding the camera, because I don't think he was. No, that guy's not menacing. He's not scary.
You talking about the guy who called her a dumb
Philly guy?
The Philly guy?
Yeah.
No, he is not aesthetically frightening. However, I will tell you,
you're surrounded by a bunch of idiots.
No, it's not that. It's the confidence that he has and the willingness to get this ugly. That is a guy who is willing to fight. You don't say that to a woman and then respond to her man in that way unless you are the kind of person who is violent by nature. You're a fighter. He's been in bar fights. He gets in the shit all the time. So that's what you're dealing with. He may not be aesthetically a big muscle-bound guy, but he is a guy who you can count on is going to take a swing at you. So you better be ready.
I think I would just laugh it off and be like, hey, what do we expect? We're in Philadelphia. These are terrible people. This is actually kind of funny because we got it on video. And
he says that to your lovely wife. He says that to your daughter. You've got beautiful. And you laugh it off.
Yeah, I would just explain. Philly people they're just terrible people. You have to ignore them.
Okay. All right. Well, that is one way to handle it. You don't feel that there is any responsibility on there is a moment in that video where she turns and looks at the camera where she goes, I'm ugly. And she's looking at either her father or her or the boyfriend.
Fiance, yeah.
And I'm telling you, pause it. That look says, are you willing to go to jail for me tonight? Because that's what I need you right now. I think women expect it. And I don't think it's out of line. I mean, look, I understand the whole thing. This is like, I always rail against the alpha male douchebags, guys who are like totally but this is a situation where I think civilized society dictates that we turn the other cheek, right? We don't start the fight because we're civilized, and that man is gauche and vulgar, and I won't.
All right, so there's phases of this throughout the James lifespan that probably mirrors the Pug's lifespan. If someone talks like that to you like that, when I was in Chapel Hill in middle school,
right,
you beat the piss out of them. You beat the ever and make sure everyone sees it, and at least until there's blood. You keep swinging until like you make his nose bleed or something, right? Right.
Well, I disagree.
Middle school, you wouldn't beat the crap out of this guy in middle school. If you were in the bleachers at some assembly in middle school and some guy called your girl a dumb C and says you're not going to do anything about it.
I didn't have a girl in middle school. First of all, there wasn't this kind of role that I understood, the role of the male in a male-female relationship. Don't mean to sound like a misogynist, but I do believe that traditionally speaking.
No one's offended by that. Yeah.
Okay, good. I hope not. Since Trump won, I'm willing to just be as comfortable with these takes as possible because it's been proven that America doesn't give a fuck. Okay, no. They don't care. So, yeah, I do think that traditionally speaking, that the woman in moments like this, if she is feeling frightened, it is incumbent upon the male to stand there and go, you know what? I'm willing to either defend you or get beat up defending you. I just think that is something that most guys are supposed to do. Now you give me a reasonable alternative, a reasonable man. I just don't know if I was a woman, if I would. I don't think your woman's going to process it the way you did. I think she's going to be okay with it. She's going to be like, yeah, you're right, honey. It's best at this. But somewhere in her mind, she's going to go, my husband's a pussy. My husband got pushed around by that guy and he didn't man up and let me know that I married the right guy. That's subconsciously what I think she's thinking.
Okay. So because the real question is, what would you do if you were the guy holding the camera or you were the guy standing there? And so
well, the real question is, what is the role of the father and what is the role of the boyfriend? I mean, who is supposed to step up first?
Right. But if you're going to be willing to go to jail for every foul-mouthed Philadelphia fan, then don't go to the damn game.
But not every Philadelphia fan is calling my daughter an ugly C to her face and then challenging me to defend her.
I know, but what if there's 10 of them? You're supposed to fight them all? It's just words.
Yes, you are.
It's just words. And if it's just that one time and y'all been sitting there for like 2 hours and that's the only ugly thing he said, I can get over that. Now, if he's constantly berating her, here's what I would do first. If you're uncomfortable, I would switch seats. And at some point I would tell him, Oh, I will go to jail if you don't shut up.
See that? Well, that's what he's got to know. And he's acting like a vulgarian. He is acting like a pit bull. So it's prison rules. This guy is only going to react to a crack in the face. And I know that he's there with friends. And I know that there's a good chance that I am then going to get my ass kicked. Not to the point where I die. Security's going to jump in. Other people, I've seen these videos. It's not going to just be, unless it's even. If it's even and we're duking it out and trading, they're going to let us go. But if it's like, if I'm getting my ass kicked by 10 people, trust me, the security will be there. I'll be fine. I'll take a beating. I've taken a beating before. That's the other thing, though, that needs to be noticed about this dude, this Philadelphia guy. That dude's not in it to win. That dude's just got anger and rage and doesn't care if he breaks his nose. He doesn't care. It's happened before. It's like when you see sometimes these criminal kids, they don't care if they go to jail. The reason I don't break laws is because I'm afraid to go to jail. Mm-hmm. They don't care. A guy like this, these neighborhood guys from these big eastern cities, dude, they live getting cracked in the face. Everything about their life growing up is punching somebody in the face. They will throw down. It's not a big deal to them, is my point. So I don't know. He's not intimidating. I personally, with that guy, I think I might feel okay. Like there are other guys where I'd be like, I'm going to get my ass kicked for you. Let's do this. And then you get your ass kicked.
I think that's one of my deciding factors is the fact that if we did scrap, there's like a 90% chance I'd beat the piss out of this guy. If it was a huge guy, that looked like, kind of that Ken Shamrock steroid looking fella, I'd probably have a different reaction. But a guy like that, if it continued, I would feel the need to shut him up.
Here's where you and I would kind of maybe have a different outcome than what we saw there. You and I are apex shit talkers. So if we wanted to just go word for word with fucking Philly Grimace, we could. I mean, I'm not afraid to, but, if he wants to get like these people, they didn't say anything back. They were just like, hey, now, don't you call her that, mister.
Well, the guy also messed up when he was like, don't call her that. That's it. That's an empty threat. No, that's what she is. She's a dumb C.
I know. Okay, so now let me give you a little bit more to this.
Ugly C, yeah.
Let me give you a little bit more to this, okay? So it turns out that, as I said earlier, the boyfriend, the fiance, whatever, he's a YouTuber, okay? So he may have had other ulterior motives, and they may exist in a world where good video is the most important thing to them. So she may understand that. She may be like, oh, okay. All right, yeah, get this guy. We're going to get so many hits. So maybe that's a reason why he didn't react. I don't know why Dad didn't. I have no idea why Dad didn't.
Well, because Dad might be like disabled or 60 or something.
Okay, Dad is probably, let's say Dad is 60. I know plenty of dads who are 60 who will punch you in the face if you were to say that to their daughter in the stands of the game. I mean, 60's not old, James. 60's not what it used to be. I don't know if he's disabled. He could have been anything. He also could have been a giant steroid dude who was, we don't know. Yeah. All we know is that her father didn't get involved. And I have a question about that. I think the father, the father is the one that has to do it as a last resort. If nobody's going to do anything, the father's going to make sure it gets done. But the boyfriend has to go first. The boyfriend has to look at the father.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and the father goes, yeah, young buck, get in there. Look, you want to sleep with my daughter? Go ahead.
How about if you go to a game in Philadelphia for the Eagles and you're wearing the opposing team's jersey, you're going to get called a dumb, ugly C. Just assume that that's going to happen. And if you go in there with that, it's not even offensive if you call me that. It's like, yeah, thanks for telling me what
that is a way to look at it. Nah, you don't call. No,
I would tell him he's a terrible person.
I hate the way this sounds because I understand that on a very surface level, it sounds like I'm white knighting. It sounds like, but we can also point to the fact that I very famously got a bottle cracked over in my head at the W in Chicago. We talked about it on the air. I had stitches for a week because somebody grabbed Kelly's ass.
But also, right.
I mean, I have been in that situation, and I took a bottle across the face.
2025, you could video the guy and then just say, hey, you realize I have your face on video. You're going to get doxxed. We're going to find out where you work. And is your employer going to be okay with you calling my fiance a dumb, ugly C?
Funny you should mention that because the young man in question, the Philadelphia Eagles fan, is New Jersey resident Ryan Caldwell, James. Ryan Caldwell. Ryan Caldwell has been identified.
Did he get fired already?
He's already been fired.
Yeah. There you go.
Ryan Caldwell.
That's the ultimate. That's better than punching him in the face.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the kick in the nuts that comes 48 hours later after you go viral. Ryan Caldwell is a New Jersey resident. He has been banned for life from Philadelphia Eagle games. Just like, as I pointed out earlier today, just like Robert De Niro in the film Silver Linings Playbook, he's been banned for life. Can't go. Just like me from Graceland, banned for life. Can't go. I overextended my welcome. The girl in question, Big Dom. Big Dom is famous in football circles, especially Philadelphia Eagle fan circles. Big Dom is the head of security on the sideline of the Philadelphia Eagles. Big Dom is famous because of the very reasons you stated. Philadelphia fans have been assholes over the years, and Big Dom has been the guy that has had to handle it. So Big Dom has become kind of famous. Big Dom identified the guy. He identified the girl and who she was with. They have been personally apologized to by Eagles management. Phone calls were made, and they were sent all kinds of crazy care packages with brand new Green Bay Packer gear and like all kinds of stuff. And an apology from Jeff Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, for her experience at their game. Wonderful. You can say, look, I said this today. This is fact. This is NFL fact. Say what you will about Philadelphia Eagle fans. The Philadelphia Eagle ownership, they're classy people. Those are good people. They take care of their players. They take care of their coaches, and they handle situations like this in this way. Ryan Caldwell worked for, let me see if I can pull this up. Let's talk about, he is no longer employed. Let's see here.
Does he have a Wikipedia page yet?
Well... No,
that's when you really messed up.
What he did was he actually jumped off social media. He has canceled all of his social media platforms. He is no longer. Where is it?
I should have.
Eagles fan update. Here we go. Internet sleuths find repulsive Eagles fan. Yeah. They can't. Internet. Here, I'll read it to you. All right. A viral and revolting incident, James, in the stands at an NFL playoff game on Sunday has already earned one football fan a lifetime ban from Lincoln Field. The fan, identified as Ryan Caldwell.
Ryan. That's not very nice, Ryan.
All right, here's what he did. Caldwell has been banned from all future events at Lincoln Financial Field, a source with knowledge of the situation confirmed to the Post.
Can't even go to a concert there, huh?
No. Apparently. Okay. And his employer, BCT Partners, a DEI-focused management consulting firm. He was a project manager for a DEI consulting firm.
That's not very woke of you, sir. That's not politically correct.
Well, he sure wasn't being inclusive, James. I'll tell you that.
And unless you think it being a dumb, ugly C is a good thing.
No. This is what I said about these companies. These companies are all over. This is a company called, let's see here.
Hilarious.
Let's see. BCT Partners. Once all of this federal money became available for these kinds of companies, all of a sudden we had a whole new industry. All of these people who didn't give a fuck about DEI 6 years ago are now suddenly running BCI Partners. We're cashing all of those big federal checks. We're hiring guys like Ryan Caldwell to represent the DEI narrative.
Yeah, because the rest of us aren't nice enough. We're too mean. Every DEI program is just like, how can we keep James Parker from getting a job, a promotion, or anything? Like, none of it's in our favor. Everything is meant to diminish, like, us in the workplace.
I have no issue with a concerted effort and the understanding that we should probably just stop hiring our friends and actually hire the people who are best qualified, regardless of anything like orientation, faith, or ethnicity. Right? I think that's a given. Some people feel that needs to be written down and needs to be enforced and turned into red tape and bureaucracy and all that. Okay, fine. That's where we are. But the bottom line is, James, I have been in the workforce since 1990. I have been going on job interviews since college. Okay. And I said this on my rant, since 1990, I have never interviewed with a human resources person who wasn't a black woman. Every single one has been a black woman. Now, I understand that that's not always the case because people have said, that's not true, Pugs. I had a white woman.
You did. That's your lived experience.
You have never interviewed with you've never had a human resources person that wasn't a woman of color.
I had Christy in New Orleans that was white.
What was Christy's last name?
Cook.
Oh, she's married white. Name?
No, that's her married name. She's white.
All right, well, she's a woman. All right,
she's a woman. I haven't had a white guy.
So this idea that here's the point. This idea that middle-aged white guys do nothing but hire all of their friends is nonsense. I have never seen a middle-aged white guy in human resources doing the hiring. Never. I've never seen it. It's always a woman of color. Yeah, in my case, and I understand that, maybe that's not true. Well, it is from my life experience.
I think I had one chick that was like Filipino-ish or something.
Yeah, there was always a woman of color. Yeah. It is always a woman first. Mine have always been black women. Every radio station in Chicago I worked at, they were all, and they're wonderful ladies. I'm not making any sort of a judgment that they don't deserve the job. I'm just simply saying, isn't that interesting that the people who my entire life, and I'm not a young man, my entire life who have done the hiring have always been not who they say is doing all the hiring.
So is Ryan just ruined forever?
Let's hope so. Ryan Caldwell, BCT Partners, they've parted ways, and he's absolutely vanished all of his digital print.
I wonder if he's single.
That guy's a loser. You know what he struck me as? I don't.
Do we not know? He looked like he had gray hair.
Old. Yeah, he's probably 28, but he looks like he's 50 because it's Philly old. They're just hate ages you, man. That's all I'm saying. Look at that chick that Don Jr. dumped.
Guilfoyle.
Did you ever see the picture thing of her in the past 5 years? How she has changed.
I haven't.
Oh God, she's
gone downhill.
She's like a zombie. Oh my God. When she was married to Gavin Newsom, she was a smoke show.
Yeah.
That's when they put her on TV and she was beautiful. And then all of a sudden she started getting plastic surgery every couple of weeks. And now she looks like, I don't know, some sort of a mutant person. Pugs is banned from Graceland, says the Sports Bras. Yeah, well, that's a long-standing story, but we don't have to talk about it. Yes, I'm banned from Graceland for life. My son, that's the coolest thing about me, according to my son. My son loves that. I went down there for the 20th anniversary of his death, and it was a big media spectacle, and there was a big line. And I was working on a morning show in Chicago, and I was standing in line at 6 o'clock in the morning with thousands of other people trying to get the official anniversary tour. And my host was telling me that I wasn't giving any good content. And so I jumped in Elvis's swimming pool and got arrested. Camera dude said on Twitter that the douche had 2 guys with him and high ground, and also sounds like excuses of a coward, Jeff, but that's all I'm saying. I don't give a shit. Of course he had 2 guys with him. He's not there alone. What, you go into that knowing.
What about this hypothetical here, or this story here, Barney? So once.
All right, Barney says, so once on the 2nd or 3rd date with my now wife, she went to the restroom, according to her. Some guy said something to her on the way to, and she blew him off. On the way back, she claims.
She claims he shoulder bumped her.
Okay.
And then she tells me about this several minutes later.
He claims he shoulder bumped her, and then she tells me about this several minutes later. I was 3 months out of the infantry at the time. I mad dogged the dude a bit, and he made nothing of it. I let it go. Yeah, that was handled. All right. Years later, she asked me why I didn't punch that guy. I answered her honestly. First, I didn't see it. Second, I had no idea how many friends he had. But mostly, I didn't know her that well. That's how you do it, Barney.
Yeah, it's not time to go to jail yet.
Couple things. You don't worry about the friends. You don't worry. It's not about the friends. It's not about whether or not you can win. It's about what you have to do if you love her. Look, I mean, that's also what matters. You got to love this person.
If you're about to break up with her tomorrow,
it's a chick you've just been dating for a couple of months. You're not going to let her get you into fights.
I think I could control myself in a similar situation. However, up until I was about 22, I would have fought him. I just because if someone smart talked to me like that, I have this weird instinct to prove them wrong, especially when it's so easily proved. You're not going to do nothing about it. Now what? I just did. Say it again.
I don't know, man.
Just punch him in the face and go, say it again. Say it again. Say it again. You're done now? Oh, that's so weird because you were saying it a second ago and now you're not. Or when I was about 17 to 20, I always thought it was real funny if your opening move is a headbutt to the nose.
Good move.
Oh, man. And so, I'm kind of tall, but if he's behind you in the stands, that would almost be like the perfect height to where I could just straight up headbutt forward and hit him like right in the nose.
Yeah.
And the cool part about that is if you do it right, the guy gets an instant nosebleed and you come off with a little blood on your face. And so now he has to look at you with his blood on your face and you just headbutt him. He did not see that coming. And it's different when you headbutt someone versus punch, because like the guy looks back at you like, okay, this isn't a real fight. This guy's an animal.
Yeah.
The headbutt's very effective.
It is very, it's not, I mean, I've got a great head for headbutting too, because my head is a noggin, man. I mean, and it doesn't, I'm not a bleeder, although I do have a giant scar there from when the top got ripped off. Yeah, that's brutal. That's like even too brutal for
It's perfect.
My first move would always be just try to take him down. Just try and
get him on the ground.
Double leg. Yeah, just double leg him down. Just get on the ground and start fucking wrestling. I don't have the cardio to stand and trade. That's really exhausting, but I'm good on the ground. I can choke you out on the ground.
And he also looked kind of like a little guy. And so there's the temptation there. If he's above you, just like grab him by the shirt and belt, and you could just pick him up and chunk him down the stands.
well, there is, James, we can do this on YouTube. There is an amazing Green Bay Packers Chicago Bear fight from last season where a Packer fan, a big like 350-pound Packer fan, gets thrown at like the 300 level and just rolls down the steps. And there's been a million versions of it. Some people add music and some people, but he couldn't stop rolling because he fell, because the incline at these stadiums are so he fell and he started rolling. He rolled all the way down. Anyway, I won't bore you with
Brutal.
that.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, sporting events, it's a shame. But, I believe in anybody who listens to my show every day at noon right here at radiomisfits.com. I believe in being cool to everybody, but I'm also an Irishman who has a temper and, isn't really all that emotionally stable. So
right.
I do lose look, I've screamed at people. Oh, what are you doing? You queuing up the next video, James? Yeah. Is that
okay?
Yeah, that is perfectly okay. All right, enough about me. Let's watch this video, James. I got a question for you about this gal. Okay? Here we go.
Oh,
go ahead and play. Watch this video. Let's watch her. Go ahead.
Let me start at the beginning.
Yeah.
She's beautiful, by the way.
She's a beautiful woman.
6 inches of snow where I live, so today I want to show you how the Ford Bronco Raptor will perform in heavy snow conditions. I'm going to drive down a road that has not been plowed yet and show you guys how amazing this car is.
Okay, it's a promo for a car.
I'm driving down this road now, no four-wheel drive, literally, like you would not even know I'm driving in 6 inches of unplowed snow. As you can see, I was not even using four-wheel drive. I was going relatively fast, and it was so easy to drive down this road. You don't even need to know how to drive in the snow in order to drive this Raptor. So if you live in an area that gets a lot of snow, or you want to keep your family safe this winter, the Ford Bronco Raptor is the car for you.
All right, James. There you go. The Ford Bronco Raptor. A nice, here, we got to get rid of that. A very nice little viral endorsement from an influencer there, trying to get people interested in the Ford Bronco Raptor.
The what?
Yeah, who cares, right?
What was that video about?
What color was her hair?
I don't know.
What color was her hair, James?
She was blonde.
So I want to talk a little bit about that. Because when it first started going viral a couple of weeks ago, that came out before Christmas.
I haven't seen that before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She does a whole bunch of endorsements. And why wouldn't you sign her up? Well, you didn't remember that it was for the Ford Bronco, but honestly, now I want to check out a Ford Bronco. I think that was effective. So let's use a big word here. Misogyny. Misogyny says that you and I, or the rules against society, the war on misogyny, if you will, hashtag Me Too, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. It says that we need to pretend we're repulsed by that.
I don't think anybody needs to pretend they're repulsed by that. Who says that?
We need to pretend like that is horrible. Where are you going?
Right here.
All right. We need to pretend like that is horrible. We need to pretend, James, most importantly, we need to pretend that poor girl being exploited in that way, or that poor girl who has been raised in an environment, James, where she has so little regard for herself that she is willing to essentially prostitute her beauty
I think only ugly women say that.
Right. Lesbians, gay men. Actually, no, I think gay men are probably into it too. They're probably like, you go, girl. You know, they probably are like, they love the flamboyant.
They're probably reconsidering their lifestyle.
Here's my thing. Now, I am, oddly enough, very pro-women. Call myself feminist at times.
Is that odd?
Well, it is because of what I just said. Because I'm talking about how I'm a guy who likes boobs. Okay? I like boobs.
Doesn't that make you pro-woman? Being pro-boob?
It does.
Overlaps in the Venn diagram with pro-woman pretty well.
It does, but am I objectifying them when that is? I do not simply, boil women down to their breast size. So that's not what I'm saying, okay? I just happen to, there are a lot of things I like. Boobs are one of them. And them's was some pretty nice boobs. Would you agree?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
You did? Oh, you were too caught up in the stats regarding the Ford, whatever the hell
I'm really
that car
concerned.
was.
I'm really concerned about my well-being in deep snow.
Right. My point is this on her, and this is I made this tweet, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Do you see something wrong with that? I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room. She's using her boobs in order to get clicks and shares, and look. Elephant in the room. Don't play dumb.
Define wrong.
That's not an accident. Okay, so you agree with me that that's the object was.
Well, look, when she has like her little jacket on, but it's pulled back over behind her boob while she's, and it's just one boob is kind of out there while she's supposedly driving.
She was not chosen for her charisma.
Well, it could be both. I mean, she could have a brain up there and be doing it for the right reasons, and also just have an epic form. Yeah. But
and by the way, I'd like to correct this. I just said she was not chosen for her charisma. I should fix that by saying she did not go viral for her charisma. I think she did that all on her own. I don't think that she's being manipulated by a man who's trying to. I think that's a viral influencer who realized that she can use her boobs to make $25 million a year, like those OnlyFans girls from last year.
Well, here's what I see as a broadcaster, someone in showbiz here. Her beauty has really hindered her, right?
Yeah, sure. It's been rough.
Well, I mean, not in getting a date, but like when you're that beautiful.
Or paying her bills.
Right.
Or anything that haunts the rest of us that don't have giant cans.
But her delivery sucked. Her voice was weak. She wasn't pushing air. Yeah. She was talking kind of a weird cadence. No one's coached her. She's had no coaching because everyone always looked at what she said and be like, that was awesome. Right.
Right. Yeah.
And so it also, like, you just have a tendency to want to be nice and not hurt their feelings. And so they don't get real criticism like we get real criticism. People flame us for the lights and transient of causes, right?
That beautiful people have no idea how rough the world really is.
Well, and so Bill Burr made in one of his bits where he talked about how beautiful women just have a tornado of misinformation floating around their heads because everyone's lied to them and agreed with them their whole life because they're beautiful, because probably they want to get with them.
Can I go to a different, just real quick, because it made me think of something that I thought was interesting. How you said, like, beautiful girls, like, they say things that was, oh, that's so interesting. It's like nobody really.
Yeah.
Have you ever, when you were growing up, was your group of friends that you ran with, was it pretty well integrated, or was it all white dudes?
I mean, it was sort of integrated.
By what? What do you mean? Do you have a black friend?
Yeah, we had.
You're a black guy who was in your core group of dudes. Or was it just all white dudes? Like your core?
Well, my core group is
just white dudes.
Is like 4 guys, and no, it was all white guys.
I was all white guys. Like, I had no black friends. I mean, there was one black kid in my entire high school. That's it. It was all that was.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, our senior song that we all voted on was "Yesterday" by Boys to Men. Not the Beatles, Boys to F and Men.
Sure.
So yeah,
so you're a little bit more diverse.
Diverse high school, yeah, and I speak quite a bit of Spanish.
Isn't that a kick in the nuts? You went to a far more diverse high school than I did in rural Texas than me on the south side of Chicago.
I'm from a minority state.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is this. So I did have a friend, two friends, Chuck and Aaron. This is once I got out of high school. This was in freshman year of college. Chuck and Aaron were a couple of DJ buddies of mine. I was into DJing and the club scene and the house music and all that kind of stuff. And so I started going to like my parties with my white friends, but I started bringing Chuck and Aaron. Now, Chuck and Aaron were both steroid freaks, okay? So they were young, 20-something black men who were gigantic. Chuck was about 6'7" and completely roided out. They were bouncers and doormen. They were the security for the DJs, and I became friends with them. And so they started hanging out with me. All of my white friends thought Chuck and Aaron were hysterical. Everything they said, it was like Richard Pryor was sitting in the middle of the living room with all of these white suburban kids. And I just get so angry at that. And it's the exact same thing that you mentioned with women, because I never really put that together. But women also, beautiful women, people are like, oh, she's so charming. Oh, she's so funny. These Chuck and Aaron are great dudes. They weren't funny, but because Eddie Murphy and because, and so they would tell a story and these white kids would just crack up. They started to think they were funny. So they started themselves being like, and I'm like, dude, you're not funny. You're like a 6'7" scary ass dude.
That's why I am so much more impressed by a female comedian who's attractive.
Yeah.
Then, the swamp donkeys out there telling a bunch of fat jokes or sex jokes or, Melissa McCarthy, fatty fall down kind of thing.
Because they don't have to be funny. Because beautiful women do not actually have to be funny.
Well, also, they've been able to fight through everyone telling them things are funny when they're not really funny. Because, if a beautiful woman tells a joke, you're more likely to say that's good, whether or not it was good, just because you want to be on her good side.
Yeah, but I think that changes in comedy circles. Like I think a young,
they get more scrutiny.
Yeah, I think
when they're beautiful.
I think a young, beautiful, and I've sort of seen this to some extent. A young, beautiful comedian who is in the group with the guys. I certainly, they do not placate her because she's beautiful. If anything, other comedians will be even harder on her because she's beautiful. Because comedians are just guys who can't get laid. They're just, and this is an opportunity for them to take a shot at a beautiful girl that would never screw with them. So, I mean, I've seen that. I've seen the opposite. I've seen young, attractive comedians who were just not encouraged at all. But maybe, at the bar, at ladies' night, yeah, the salesman who's in town is like, you're hysterical.
Because I always thought
stand-up.
I would be funnier if I was fat. Like that opens up so many avenues of comedy. Because I can't tell fat jokes right now. And I can't make fun of fat people without sounding like an entire a-hole. Because I'm not fat.
He wishes you were fat. Yeah, well, I am fat. And trust me, it doesn't help. Doesn't help.
Makes you
comedy.
Funnier.
No,
you can tell fat jokes without being an a-hole. Can't you? And you're not even fat.
Aren't you sweet? Isn't that the nicest thing that was said to me in a very long time? Oh, hey, speaking of, posted about this too. I went to the Kroger the other day and I was dressed pretty good. I wasn't wearing a suit or anything.
The one with all self-checkouts?
No, gay Kroger. No, there are two Krogers in this area.
You went to the gay one, right?
There is gay Kroger, which is in the gay neighborhood, which is smaller.
But Emil will only go to the gay one because he doesn't self-checkout, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And then there's Dr. Kroger, which is over here in Medical District. That's the big one. This was a gay Kroger. I walked into gay Kroger and I was kind of dressed up and I was feeling pretty nice about what I was wearing. I just come out of a meeting. And this girl who was selling wine, as they do the tasting thing. I come walking through the door. And she goes, "Ooh, styling, James."
Oh my God,
James! I was on clouds for the next 12 hours. I'm like a total me, my middle-aged, stupid, strange woman who was attractive. She's younger. Now, granted, she probably was trying to get me to
butter you up because it's her job.
It was still nice to be recognized. So compliments are wonderful.
That's great. I just had this conversation with my wife and my eldest daughter. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Ellie. She's 13.
Happy birthday, Ellie. Your husband won't, your father will not defend you should someone call you a horrible name.
No, I might headbutt him but you better get it on video because I want to go viral. I was going to say, we were just having this conversation like 2 weeks ago where I was explaining like how rarely guys get compliments. Like
never.
Oh, it's never. And
never.
And I was like, here, I'll explain to you how rare men get compliments. It was the year 2000. I was dating this girl named Erin, who was going to SMU at the time. Beautiful. She said, I'm the third hottest guy she's ever dated.
Okay.
That's pretty much the last time I got a compliment.
Oh, you took that as a compliment?
Yeah.
All right. That's
third hottest?
good.
Are you kidding? You only know 2 guys hotter than me? That's fantastic.
That's good.
Because she was beautiful. She could date whoever she wants.
That is a compliment.
Right? Isn't that great?
I mean, don't you want to see who the other guys are? So you need to take that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Step outside. I'll talk a little bit. All right, everybody. Here's something I wanted to go through with James. We can do this. Hold on. Let's see here. He had to step out to take a phone call. Apologize. By the way, check out James, WBAP. That's James Parker. James Parker, WBAP, every Monday through Friday, 2 to 5. Talk radio, the kind that's offered on the radio. He's very good, though. James is, he's a little biased. He's my buddy. I'm a little biased, but no. Yeah, he's great. You can also check out my show, The Rant, a rundown of all the current events, hot topics, and everything that's happening in the world. I call it talk radio for normal people because it's more lifestyle-based and not really political in nature. So come join us. Have fun. Chat room is usually a good rollicking place. So this is something that I was going to do on that show, but I got James here, so we'll do it tonight. It's the 2025 death list. Now we're in a new year. I hate to be dark, but we'll have some fun with this. Every year there is this website, and I go to this yearly. It's called deathlist.net. And what it is it's almost like a really dark betting site where essentially what it does is it tells you who is probably going to die in 2025. Okay? Dark, yeah, but interesting. And it gives you who is number 1 on the death list? Who is the number 1 person that everyone just fully expects is going to die this year? I'll save that for you when James gets back. But let's go through some of these, okay? Let me go through. Okay, so number 10. I will give you number 10 on the list just to give you an idea of his rating or his age is 99. Is he 99? I'm trying to tell. All right, number 10. James is here. James, everything okay?
Yeah.
All right. James is here now. So I was explaining to people that this is the death list, deathlist.net. Every year they compile all of the famous people on the globe who we're interested in, and they make odds on as to whether or not they're going to make it. All right. And they will count down from 10. All right. These are the top 10 people who you could put money on will not live to see New Year's next year. Okay. These are people who are going to die in 2025. Number 10, 99-year-old Mel Brooks.
He's still alive.
He's still alive.
Good for him.
Safe bet on Mel Brooks.
Okay.
Number 8 or number 9 is Linda Nolan. I don't know who that is.
Don't know.
I have no idea. She's a Nolan sister. Apparently they're a wealthy family or something.
Christopher Nolan.
Right. Number 8, 99-year-old Alan Greenspan.
Oh yeah.
99. Wasn't he just working in the government a couple of years ago? He's 99?
Yeah, he was working in the government 18 years ago.
How long has he been gone? Yeah, because I'm old. So sometimes
that's 2008 or something.
Has he been gone that long? Okay. So that would be 99, 89, 79. All right. If he got out in his 70s, that's fine. How about, then we're going to have to skip forward because a lot of these apparently are
people you don't know.
English, very English heavy. This is an English-based, an England-based list. All right, number 2. Here we go. Number 2, Eva Marie Saint. You know who she is?
No.
Nah, you don't care. Of course, you're James. You don't even know who Crosby, Stills, and Nash are. She's an actress from the golden age of Hollywood.
Nope.
Number 1. This is the odds-on favorite. No chance he's going to make it to 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 at 100 years old, Dick Van Dyke.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Dick Van Dyke is number 1.
So we've done the celebrity death pool in radio shows past, and every year I've gotten burned by Willie Nelson.
Okay, so that's what we'll do now. We will go through. I'll pick out some of these names. I'll tell you where they are listed. We know that number 1 is Dick Van Dyke and number 10 is Mel Brooks. Okay, so let's see who else is on there. Willie Nelson is a good one.
Well, I got a lot of complaints because I had Margaret Thatcher in my death pool the year that she died.
Yeah.
And so we brought it up on the morning show. Hey, James got it right. Margaret Thatcher died and she was in his death pool, so he gets a point here. And like we got so many complaints about that we just never did the bit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember, Paco, when we used to do I used to love his death list. He would always have like Dakota Fanning. It was always like, Paco, who else you got on? Who's going to die this year? 12-year-old actress. It was always so, it's just so funny.
I remember he did that.
It was always young people that he didn't like. Paco, the purpose of this bit is they're supposed to be old, you know? Thought it was people I want to see dead this year. No. Clint Eastwood is number 16. Clint Eastwood has the number 16 best odds of dying in 2025. He's 95 years old. I could mention Noam Chomsky, but I don't think anybody knows who that is. Let's see here.
Terrible person.
Who else? Is Noam Chomsky a terrible?
Yeah, he's the worst.
Gene Hackman, actor, 28 on the list.
Oh, wow. How old is he?
Gene Hackman is 95 years old. Right behind Gene Hackman, and this is a sad one. What
a great career he had.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad. It's like, you know, you see this and you're like, yeah, I ain't seen Gene Hackman lately.
Right.
Where's he been?
Fewer movies lately. Yeah.
He used to be lately. He's 95. He probably ain't done a movie in 15 years, but he was in every other movie for a period of time, a good chunk of my life.
Right.
Joanne Woodward. This is a nice one. This is, you don't know who this is. Of course you don't know she's an actress. Joanne Woodward is 29th on the list here. She's 95 years old. She is a famous actress. She's an Oscar-winning actress, but she was married for like 50 years to Paul Newman. And, you know, Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward, they were always the Hollywood couple who made it. Oh, no Hollywood couples make it. Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward. He died like 10 years ago. She's still kicking.
Is that a good thing?
I mean, she didn't love him.
Shut up.
So I think it means you're supposed to die. Old people are supposed to die within 6 months or they didn't really love each other.
Is there an age gap, though? Probably.
She's 95, James.
He was like 95 10 years ago.
I don't know. No. And I think they're pretty much the same age. I think he would probably be 95. All right. How about Robert Wagner? He comes in at number 30. Do you know Robert Wagner?
I know the name. What did he do?
Heart to Heart. He was big movie star, married to Natalie Wood, murdered Natalie Wood, and got away with it. He is now 95 years old. He's never been brought up on charges, and I'm fine with it because Robert Wagner is an incredibly cool guy.
Even with the killing of the wife?
Yeah, it's very complicated for me. Robert Wagner used to do our morning show in Chicago. He was in town. He was doing some theater thing, and he decided that he liked us. So he came for one show and then started showing up like every other day. We couldn't get rid of him. He was incredibly cool. He would tell stories, and he was fascinating. And, you know, we never bring up Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood, of course, died when she fell off their boat. Robert Wagner, Christopher Walken, and Natalie Wood were on a boat off of Catalina. Natalie Wood, Oscar-winning actress, falls over.
I thought Christopher Walken was rolled up in the Manson stuff.
No, Natalie Wood.
No, who was the famous guy that was rolled up in the Manson stuff?
Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys?
No, I think Christopher Walken was too. Wasn't he?
No.
Sure, there's no connection there.
I'm not sure, but no. I'm willing to say no.
All
right. Anyway, Robert Wagner. I just think there's
Oh, number 2 in Austin Power. Thank you.
That's who. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's who Robert Wagner is. So he's sort of like an icon of old Hollywood.
I thought that was Ryan O'Neal. Wasn't that Ryan O'Neal?
No, but he's also awesome. But he beat up Farrah Fawcett, so we can't like him. Robert Wagner, I still like. He only murdered Natalie Wood. Allegedly, possibly, probably. I don't know. That mystery has never been solved. Robert Wagner is number 30. Let's see here. Jim Lovell, 34, 97 years old.
Do I know him?
Yeah.
Jim Lovell?
Yeah.
Oh, the astronaut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apollo 13, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
All right. Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay. Angie Dickinson, she's 94.
I know the name.
Dude, the Rat Pack ran. This is one of the chicks that the Rat Pack ran through. Like there's a couple like super hot Hollywood chicks from the 1960s that like 50-year-old Frank Sinatra. Like these are 22-year-old girls, but still Frank and Sammy and all these dudes, they're in their 50s, but they're still running around with these smoke show Hollywood chicks. Angie Dickinson, Shirley MacLaine, Anne Margaret, Of course, Sinatra would go on to marry Mia Farrow.
McClain.
Yeah, Shirley MacLaine was a hottie, man. Oh, back in the day. What, you don't think she was born 60? Did you?
Well,
you know,
for me, she was born 50-ish.
You know, she had to be hot. If you know her, if she's still famous when she's an old lady and not sexy at all, you know that she had to have been hot because they didn't allow ugly people to be famous back then.
That's a good rule. I agree. Just hadn't seen it.
Clive Davis. Thought he was dead. I really did. He's the guy who runs Columbia Records, who's responsible for almost every band you've ever heard of.
Okay.
Here's another. Harvey Weinstein, number 38.
Oh, that's too bad.
He's 73 years old. He's the youngest man on the list so far, probably because he's in prison and has a bunch of health problems.
Seems like such a nice guy.
Seems like a wonderful guy. Buzz Aldrin, 95, still alive.
Oh, cool.
How crazy is that? Robert Duvall, 94, still alive.
There you go. Now, I did see him in a movie like a couple years ago, didn't I?
Robert Duvall?
I think so.
I don't know. See, all of these like super awesome, cool actors from when I was a little kid,
like Gene Hackman,
are all too old for stairs now. You know, they can't even, let alone act. They have to live in ranch houses. Brian Wilson, genius of the Beach Boys. He's 83. He is number 46. And I'm going to leave you with this one. Number 48 on the list, 91-year-old Frankie Valli.
Oh, cool.
Are you familiar with the current state of Frankie Valli?
Was he catatonic or something?
Basically,
an iron lung? What's he doing?
He's catatonic. He's 91 years old. Still touring.
He's still touring? No, shut up.
Okay.
How can a catatonic guy tour?
Yeah, it's a good question. We should probably take a look at a YouTube video, maybe. This is a big problem. There's a lot of complaints about elder abuse and what's going on with Frankie Valli.
I hate those stories, man.
I push back on that. This dude, look, I'm going to show you this video. We'll watch a video of Frankie Valli, okay? And by the way, just for the record, I think Frankie Valli is awesome. There you go, Frankie Valli today. This is not going to be good. All right, so he's doing these concerts. All right, let's see. Let's watch this one. All right, here he is.
All right, go to the area.
Once again, Frankie Valli is... All right, Frankie Valli is 91 years old. He's on tour. People are claiming this is elder abuse. They roll him out there in front of a bunch of people at some casino in New Jersey.
So he's at best 89 here.
Was this 2023? Yeah, probably at best. He has very little mobility. They push him out there. He stands there and he lip syncs. He doesn't sing. He's got no voice anymore. They play a track of Frankie Valli songs with full production, mind you, like full like live band, like playing the music, but the vocal is a track, and he's just. Okay. So let's watch this.
Just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off. There's nothing else to
All right, hold on. There's got to be a better one. There's got to be a better one than that. Let's see.
That was pretty bad.
No, but that's not as bad as the ones we've seen recently, where they're saying this is Frankie Valli okay? Maybe we'll check out this one.
Oh, the lip sync fails. Right there.
Where's that at?
Right there, the next one.
Oh no. Okay, let's check this one out.
back to you, babe. The burning love is
not here to make fun of an old guy because I think he's a baller. He's a badass.
That is nightmare fuel is what it is. Do you think he's enjoying that? How would you like to be 90 years old and you got to go out and get trotted out and pushed out on stage and lip sync to this song that you can't even sing, but it's the same damn song you've been hearing for the last 70 years now? 70 effing years of the same songs over and over? I would be a madman.
Here's what I think. I think that Frankie Valli can still sell a ticket for $30, $40 to a certain group of people, probably in casinos. Like you older people in casinos. You do that, you tour the country, you could probably make a couple $1 million a year off the Frankie Valli name. It's a real name. Your grandma and your aunts would love to go to that show. Is this elder abuse? I don't know. I don't know what his vibe is on it. This might be how he wants to go. He's an entertainer. This might be incredible for him. Here's what I do know. The people who are paying, the people who are dancing, and I've seen enough of these videos, the people who are dancing, they're having a great time. This isn't let's go and mock Frankie Valli. These are older people who are simply enjoying the sentimental attachment that we all have with music. That's it. So is there anything evil going on here? No, it's easy for some, what do they call them? These people who stand on Mount High and judge us, all these moral grandstanders or whatever, to sit from the sidelines and go, this is atrocious. No, it's not. Everybody in this thing that I'm seeing seems to be having fun, except for you bastards who are making fun of them.
Well, if he's enjoying it, cool. If he's doing this just for the money, okay, that's still a maybe. If he would rather be home and his handlers are pushing him out on stage, that's elder abuse.
Let me show you something.
But I don't think that's what's happening.
Let me show you something why I say Frankie's a dude. Okay, you know about my love for all things mafia, Sopranos, and all of that stuff. Love it. Can't get enough of it. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Jersey Guys.
Nope.
But they are a wholly created mafia band. This is a band that was created in New Jersey, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Their manager was a mafia guy. Their record label was owned by a mafia company, and they were basically pushed on Hollywood and record executives. We're going to break your nose or we're going to break your legs if you don't play my guy. That's how Frankie Valli exploded as an example of how the mob ran the music industry in this period of time. The Sopranos famously have a multi-season story arc concerning Hesh, who was the advisor to Tony. Hesh owed money to black people who were right. So this is like kind of that same thing. So let me show you Frankie Valli in the 1970s. After the gays and the blacks took over disco, it's like the mafia went, hey, I think we can do that too. What do you say? We get our beak wet with some of this disco stuff. So Frankie Valli had a massive disco hit. Now, this is very out of genre for Frankie Valli, but it's a banger song. And I want you to look at this video, and I want you to look at these guys, this assemblage of total Goombas. This is his band. Watch this. This is a banger of an all-timer, and this is why I always say that Frankie Valli is super cool. Here, let's show this. See if we can see it. We're watching the video. I'm going to skip that ad. All right, check this out.
You sharing it?
Yeah. Hold on. Look at this band. They had no business being in disco, yet here they were. This is the cast of the Sopranos. The Frankie and Craig.
Already old there?
Yeah, he was 60s in the 60s. This is the man on disco.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I love that video just for that reason. It's a great song. I love that song. And it's just so fun to see that. And then, of course, if you are a Sopranos fan, you know that Frankie Valli had a role in the Sopranos. He was one of Carmine, one of the New York family's top consigliere, who was double team.
I didn't realize that until just now.
Hold on. Frankie Valli Sopranos. I'll show him to you, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, he was like the short guy. They always called him Shorty or something. Nope. There you go. All right, so here, this guy.
Oh, okay. That guy.
Yeah, that guy, right?
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. That's Frankie Valli from The Sopranos.
I did not know.
Don't want to do that.
I did not know.
All right, James.
Calling a show?
I didn't share the picture of Frankie Valli.
That's all right.
It's okay. You guys can Google it. That's the beautiful thing about the internet. You're watching it on the internet. Open a window, Google it. James, anything you want to say to the folks as we wrap up this 90? We did 90 minutes. Well, almost.
Almost. No.
We did an hour. That's good.
No, thank you.
Every Wednesday?
Hopefully.
We'll see. All right, this has been fun. Join us tomorrow at noon right here. Like, follow, subscribe. The Noon Show. Talk radio for normal people. We don't get involved in all the political partisanship. We like to just do fence talk. Imagine I'm your neighbor. We're talking over the fence. We're not trying to get sideways. Although, you are going to love me as a neighbor. Every day at noon, radiomisfits.com. James, how do they find you?
WBAP.com or WBAP app.
There you go. All right, wave bye-bye, James. Bye.